Ladies and gentlemates, my name is Wildkard. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here and watching my content. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk about the greatest game in the world, rugby. You are here today because it's Wednesday and it's time to read some rugby news. First up, the Six Nations is upon us this weekend, and also known as the Rugby World Cup Losers Championship. Yes, first game is between the quarterfinal exits, France versus Ireland, the big opening match of the weekend. Both teams are kind of going into this match with a massive question mark above their team, with both teams missing their star, I guess, superstar actually. Let's put it straight, superstar playmaker. France in the sense of Antoine Dupont temporarily to the allure of a gold medal. By the way, Dupont, has anybody told him that the medal is not actually gold? Have anybody told him that yet? It's not actually gold. They don't make actual gold medals anymore at the Olympics. So maybe if you tell him that, he might change his mind and come back to play the Six Nations. But please tell him they don't make gold medals at the Olympics anymore. Okay, it's fake. It's not actually like all gold. It's like, metal and then covered in gold or something, right? It's not actually all gold. So somebody please tell him. Maybe he'll like come to his senses and return to rugby union. The 15 game where you actually, where everybody wants to see him play once again. But yeah, so the team has been announced for the French. Ireland, obviously, without the king himself, Johnny Sexton. I still can't believe that he retired. But yeah, without Johnny Sexton, the succession plans from Ireland is in motion. And my prediction is that Billy Burns will take over as the captain for Ireland and the starting 5'8" going into the 2027 Rugby World Cup. That is my predictions. But yeah, I'm pretty much right with these predictions, like 99% of the time. So yeah, we'll wait and see. And for the French, Fabien Galthié has announced their team. A few changes in the team due to injuries and whatnot. Obviously, Dupont being out. So yeah, let's have a look at the team that's going into this weekend against Ireland. Our opening match in Marseille. And so we're coming in at the team here. Let's see if we can zoom into that. Actually doesn't change the size. But anyway, coming in a loose head position, Cyril Bai. Movaka comes in at the hooker position, number 2. I think Movaka is probably one of the best, starting to become one of the best hookers in the world right now. Just like his versatility, he operates almost as a loose forward. I've been quite impressed with his abilities on the field, with his ability to carry the ball as well. Now, not just his, like a line-out operator. So Movaka comes in number 2. Very excited to see him again. And obviously, the big return is Antonio, Uni Antonio, returning to the tight head proposition. He announced his retirement after the Rugby World Cup, and obviously, I think maybe that he didn't want to leave in a sour note. And also, I did think that he was at the prime of his career at the Rugby World Cup. He looked better than he was in 2022 at the Rugby World Cup. I thought it was a shame that he was retiring because he was looking so prime, so good, just absolutely dominant, over the All Black scrum in the and I thought it was really a bit premature that he retired, and it's good to see him that back in the French fold and trying to bring some more enjoyment to my weekends. Coming in number 4, a bit of a change here for the French team. Gabriel Laris, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce his name properly. Has taken number 4 jersey ahead of Cameron Wookie, ahead of Flement. And I think Flement might be injured, but he's being called into the number 4 jersey. Who else was supposed to be at 4? Yeah, he's ahead of Cameron Wookie and Thibault Flement. And that's kind of a big call here. And coming number 5, Willem Sa, as always. Francois Crocs comes in number 6. Aldridge coming number 8. And Charles Olivon comes in number 7. Crocs is a bit of a injury selection, I think he was. Ahead of, what's his name? The guy that taking a shot against the Wallabies. We're still looking for the sniper, by the way. He's taking a shot against the Wallabies. What was his name? Anthony Jellock, ahead of who's been a bit injured as well. But yeah, by the way, we are looking into the sniper that took out Jellock against the Wallabies. We have the brightest, the smartest people working over the clock over the last 2 years now. We're still looking for him, but I think we're getting really close to finding the sniper that took him out in that summer series against Australia. Don't worry, guys. We're onto it. Coming in number 9, Maxime Luku as everybody kind of was. He was already the reserve for Antoine Dupont coming in at number 9. Obviously, his playmaking is not to the same level as Dupont, so they're probably gonna transition that into a more, I guess, traditional style where the number 10 is the playmaker for the French team. Not sure, but Luku is very, very good coming off the bench as a starting player. We'll have to wait and see. Jalibert comes in number 10. Obviously, Intermac is still injured. I thought there was some rumors that Intermac was going to be potentially ready for the Six Nations, but apparently that's not so. I was just spreading rumors. But then again, at number 11, a big selection is Moefana gets the number 11 jersey ahead of Bieri, everybody's favorite, babyface. Moefana has been a very good utility player for the French. He also covers center's position, and I'm pretty sure he covers fullback as well. But Moefana is one of those utility guys that covers just about the whole backline for the French side. And it's interesting to see Galtier has thought that he is a better option at number 11 over Bieri instead of just having him on the bench to cover that, options on the backline. They have opted for him to start in this game. Jonathan Donty, the powerhouse at number 12, as always. Gao Fuku, his partner in crime in an outside center position. And Damien Penald comes in number 14. And number 15, Thomas Ramos. There has been some speculations that the French, during the training earlier this week, that Jalibert was carrying a bit of injury. But it looks like he's probably going to be okay. If, for some reason, Jalibert pulls out of the game prior to the kickoff, they might. I think Ramos is most likely touted to be at the 10 jersey to cover go in at the 10 jersey for Jalibert. Now in the bench now we've got Julien Maconde coming number 16, Reda Vardy coming in number 18, Vardy comes in number 17, Aldegheri coming in number 18, Romain Taufifinoa, another player that was out of Rugby World Cup, claiming that he retired, comes back in number 19. The powerhouse, the bomb squad. Essentially, he's the the bomb squad member for the French, coming off the bench every game. Comes back out of retirement to kind of redeem himself at number 19. Cameron Wilkie, as we already spoke about, number 20. I'm a pretty big fan of Wilkie. If you don't know, I really felt like he probably really wanted to see him start. I felt like I was very impressed by his performance against the Wallabies a couple years ago, and my impression of him has been pretty good since then. Bodegent comes in number 21, number 22 Ragarek, and number 23 Bieri. And the French has opted for a 6-2 bench setup as well, emphasizing that forward battle against the Irish. The Irish will be a very, very strong forward pack, but the Irish would not be running. I would be very surprised if Ireland does 6-2 on the bench. They'll probably go for the typical 5-3 setup. I will have to wait till Andy Farrell makes his announcement, probably soon after you see this news for the week. Anyway, let's moving on. Yes, my favorite team in the world, the Melbourne Rebels, has gone into voluntary admission. This was reported already that they're in financial trouble a couple months ago, and then the CEO came out and said that was just some Sydney rumors from the Sydney siders, from the Sydney people, the people living in Sydney, the evil Sydney people spreading rumors about the financial problems of the Rebels. And sure enough, they're finally going to have come out clean, going to administration. And it was actually quite interesting reading some of the information that has been released out of this whole administration. There was something that I was being very angry. I've been very angry with Rugby Australia, is that the Birthlow Cup has gone to Melbourne every year for 2 years in a row, and it hasn't been in Sydney since 2021. And it's basically like a 4-year Rugby World Cup. Well, is it 2021 or 2020? It's basically a World Cup cycle. Last time, the Birthlow Cup, the biggest sporting event in the history of human race, has come to Sydney, right? So I was really, really upset about this. I think I've told you guys the story. I literally called the Rugby Australia and abused the reception girl about this, telling them to change the date, change the venue back to Sydney. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Don't do that. That's pretty bad form for me. But I was so angry, I actually called Rugby Australia to file my complaint. But yes, so apparently the reason that it's that these big games keep going to Melbourne. Oh, and you probably know this as well. Super Round, gone to Melbourne 3 years in a row now. Why is it there 3 years in a row? Super Round is basically where all the Super Rugby teams get together in one location, in an empty stadium, and play 3 days of rugby together, right? And the idea is that they're going to get all the fans together, have like a massive fan event. But because it's Melbourne, obviously the turnouts has been probably less than what they were desiring. So all these events has been gone to Melbourne because of the Melbourne Rebels' financial troubles. Yeah, so it has been revealed that the Rebels has been in financial troubles, and the Rugby Australia has been trying to get the Victoria government, Victoria is a state where Melbourne resides in, the state government to come in and support them financially. And as a condition for the government support for the Rebels, Victoria government wants major sporting events to be located in Melbourne. That is why there's no political cup in Sydney. So I'll just show you the exact words, right? So yeah, the Victorian government bailed out the club in return for test match hosting rights. This was in 2017, essentially. So they were having in financial troubles in the past. Currently, the Melbourne Rebels has a debt of $9 million. Apparently, they were, in 2007, they were gonna go under their private firm, Imperial Sport Group that owned Melbourne Rebels at the time, sold it to Victorian Rugby Union for $1. If you sold it to me for $1, you'll be worth $9 million. You'll be earning $9 million revenue annually instead of a $9 million debt. But hey, feel free to sell it to me for $1. I'll take it and I'll fix it. I guarantee. So yes, the Victoria. So that is why it's actually like a toxic cycle. There's so much resource it's gone to Victoria, so much like Super Rounds, or the Blood Little Cup. All these massive games are like massive attractions that grows the game domestically. And with the failing Rebels, you're not getting that benefit, that domestic development that you would have had if you had the Blood Little Cup in Brisbane or in Sydney. That's going to grow the game more, and actually going to get a benefit out of it, right? And instead of just the Victorian government putting a gunshot marriage on that deal, it's really, really bad. So anyway, the current season in 2024, the Rebels will be finishing off the season with the financial support from Rugby Australia, and they're going to be looking at try to probably get Victoria government the Victoria government is also going to come in and try to ensure the Rebels finish off the season. I'm guessing the Blood Little Cup will be going to Victoria again this year, right? Guys, let's go Victoria again. And yeah, so that's maybe they're gonna put a Springboks game there just to change it up a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the backdoor shenanigans, I'm just gonna say I'm pretty glad that the Rebels are actually going under, because it's been long enough. It's just been too much resources wasted on the location, and it hasn't yielded any result. And it's actually breeding really poor player habits, and we're getting these like top quality athletes performing subpar levels at the Wallabies because they were just left to their own demise at the Rebels, and they come into the Wallabies with a less than professional attitude, I would say, and that's been trickled into the team as well. So I'm really glad that Rebels actually gone. So yeah, the Wallabies World Cup disaster, it's in the new documentary. I'm not watching it, but feel free to watch it because I watched this live. I don't want to watch that again, so feel free to go watch that if you're interested. But anyway, let's move to South Africa. Rassie Erasmus, King Rassie, has suffered a bit of hand injury at home due to doing some cleaning. So apparently he suffered a chemical burn to his hands, went to hospital, and but yeah, that's why I do not clean my house. Okay, that is why I do not clean my house. And Rassie Erasmus has been hospitalized for chemical burn. There has been a test match confirmed between the Springboks against Portugal. This was confirmed a while ago. The venue has been confirmed. This is going to be playing the July series. they're gonna play 2 games, I think, against England. I think it's England, or is it Ireland? No, I think it's Ireland. They're playing 2 games against Ireland instead of a 3-test series. They're gonna play just 2 tests, right? And then they're gonna go playing Portugal for the 3rd test. So it's kind of weird setup. Usually you want to have a 3-test series, but it's only gonna be 2 tests, and then it's gonna be a 3rd one against Portugal. And this one's going to be played out at Bloemfontein. And, oh boy, it's going to be are we going to see the famous Springboks C team in action? Maybe. So there was another big injury for the Springboks. Kwagga Smith, many people believe that the guy that basically won the World Cup for the Springboks, actually, not probably didn't win the World Cup, but helped the Springboks advance in the pool stages by being an absolute monster. He's suffered a abductor tendon injury, and it's gonna be out for like 5 months or something. So yeah, that's a big loss for Rassie Erasmus. But it's not Rugby World Cup, so it's not like they're gonna be, it's not like they're gonna be losing the Rugby World Cup. But yeah, losing to the All Blacks. Anyway, moving on. So yes, obviously the Springboks has to find new coaches as well. Their head coach, Erasmus, Jackson Nienaba. Sorry, the head coach, Jackson Nienaba, went to Leinster, and the other coach, what was his name? Tony Brown's a new one. What was his name? Felix Jones, also left the setup. So the Tony Brown, the former Highlanders head coach and Jack Hens assistant coach under Joseph, what was his name? Jamie Joseph, has stepped in to fill one of the roles under Rassie Erasmus. Next up, Nigel Owens has come out last week, and not last week, like a few days ago, to kind of like talk about some of his thinking about the way the referees should be changed, which I kind of agree to some extent. So one of the things that he has an issue with is the way that the whole judiciary system with the red cards, it's just way too many people being involved. So you have the referee, the TMO, the touch judges, and then after the red cards are issued, you go to the courts, and there's like another 4 people gonna look into the incident. So there's total of like 7 people being involved in a player's suspension from a red card. And we've seen this as well, like a lot of inconsistencies, like Owen Farrell having the red card being rescinded. That sort of thing happening. Very big like inconsistencies across the different, because Nigel Owens thinks there's just too many people involved in these sort of decisions. And he thinks that one of the big thing that he kind of stated, which I do agree, and hopefully I'm understanding this correctly, is that he thinks that a foul play is always a red card, but the threshold of the foul play needs to be very clear, right? Like if a player has done everything he could, lowering his body height, making a wrap, and then if he's still like, caused a like a head collision or something, that's not foul play. Because he's done everything he could. It's not a reckless play. It's not a foul play. And therefore, he should not be carded at all. Whereas if a player actually did something that is deemed reckless, like let's say jumping up in the air, taking a Beauden Barrett whilst catching a high ball and caused Beauden Barrett to land on his head, Alansa, right? Then in that case, then it's just straight up a red card. And the judiciary system should be simplified. There should be no discussions. You should just be straight up red card suspension. And there shouldn't be like, a 3-man judiciary system afterwards. I guess maybe not 3-man, but like, more streamlined process that is just like, hey, that's a reckless play. That's a foul play. There's completely avoidable. You should be red carded. And that's just, suspension, 5 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is, done and dusted. There's no like too much. It should be very clear cut in that case. So there surely shouldn't be the situation where it is foul play, but it's not really good, not reached the threshold for a red card. That's kind of like what Nigel Owens talking about here. I think that's what he's talking about, but let me know if I'm actually understanding him incorrectly. But yeah, I kind of agree to that, because I do think that at the moment, it's a lot of inconsistency with the referees, and it needs to be simplified a bit just for everybody's sake. The URC has broken another record on the weekend. Like, I think I got to get on watching that. I really hasn't been watching much rugby recently. So they actually broke the attendance record like 3 weeks ago. and they broke the attendance record again last weekend. So the record was 135,747. 3 weeks ago only. This was just before Christmas, and then they broke it again on the weekend with 146,000 people and attendance, which is a really good to see that the game is thriving in the URC. England rugby. Let's go on to now the Six Nations just around the corner has suffered a lot of injuries and problems. Their big star, one of the guys I'm very dying to see to perform, Marcus Smith, has been ruled out of the opening round of the Six Nations. But luckily it's against Italy, so they don't really need him anyway. He's probably not even going to be starting anyway, to be honest, with a bit of a calf injury. So we're probably going to see George, George Ford starting on a 10. And we'll see how they go. But yeah, Marcus Smith will be missing out on that one. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Bothwick wants to put Marcus Smith. Is he going to be at 15 again? And they're going to put, Freddie Stewart at center or at a wing and then have, George Ford as the playmaker? Or they're going to put Marcus Smith as the playmaker and just have George Ford coming off as a bench? We'll have to see. But I'm very interested to see how the English team is going to set up this year. And yeah, bit of hiccup there. Another one hiccup is Nick Isikev. He is out due to an illness, so he has been left. He's left the camp, and Charlie Ewels will be stepping up for his spot as well. So yeah, it's going out with an illness. That's not good. And Ollie Lawrence had a bit of an injury update. Also, Ollie Lawrence is a big name for England. He was initially thought not going to be able to play in the Six Nations, but it looks like he will be looking to return, maybe midway through the Six Nations and try to play maybe towards the end of the rounds, which will be pretty big for England. Mauro Itoje, a guy that there was some talk, a guy that England rugby is pretty crucial for England rugby to success, has committed to the Saracens for a contract extension. There were some fears that he was going to go to France as well, but he's staying in England rugby. There was anyway. So with that being said, the other guy, Colin Laws, has finally been confirmed is going to Brive in the, I think in France in the Pro D2 table, which is I don't think that's not the top 14. That's the second tier or something. But he's gone overseas. Colin Laws has announced his retirement from Test rugby already, so it's not like he was gonna be available for England anyway. But he's finally kind of riding out into the sunset into France as well. So good news for England rugby as well. Another big news is Joey Merchant has decided to return to England by signing with the Saracens next season, I guess. And Joey Merchant, again, someone I'm very happy to see return to England. I'm very, this guy's so talented. He's so good in so many different positions in the backline for England. It's just really about how they want to use him. I feel like, he was playing at center at the Rugby World Cup. I really feel like he's good at the wing as well. He's got that speed. But Joey Merchant, massive return for England rugby. So this weekend was the second big match is Wales versus Scotland in Cardiff. And they're probably going to keep the roof open for this one. And the Scottish team hasn't beat Wales at Cardiff for 22 years. And apparently last time they won there, Gregor Townsend, the current head coach of Scotland, was in the team, was a player on the field. So yes, it's a big game this weekend, and it's going to be a big opportunity for them to win like Wales. They beat Wales, in Wales 2 years ago, but that wasn't at Cardiff. That was at the Millennium Stadium, and because of COVID. But the Gregor Townsend was able to beat England at Twickenham last year in that massive comeback win. So yeah, Twickenham, I think it's just probably a more intimidating venue than the Millennium Stadium at Cardiff. But yeah, this will be a one opportunity considering all the big playmakers. Anscombe is injured, Biggers retired, has gone for Gatland. So this will be actually a massive opportunity for Gregor Townsend. I think the favourite to win the Six Nations this year, in my opinion. the team to win Six Nations this year, the most consistent team going to Six Nations. I think that the Kwagga Townsend will be looking at this game, thinking that he's going to have a record to be broken on his hands as well. For Wales, Aaron Winwright has signed for extension, I guess, with the Dragons, which means that he will be staying with the Welsh team, be available to selection for the Welsh team. Next up, yes, Adam Hastings has withdrawn from Scotland. A bit of bad news for what's his name for Scotland. Hastings has been ruled out due to a what was it? Neck strain? No, that's Willem now. Knee injury, yeah. Wait, no, that's not right. But anyway, Hastings out, which is a big loss for Scotland. But it's anyway. Some good news for Scotland now. Rory Darge had a bit of a knee injury and is looking to potentially available for the opening week against Wales this weekend. So Rory Darge is going to be ready. Bad news for Scotland. Grant Gilchrist has a suspension, so he won't be able to be playing against Wales this weekend. And finally, I told you, Billy Burns is looking to will be re-signed in Ireland. His contract with Ulster will be ending. They're not going to be signing an extension with him, but he will be re-signed to Munster to be kind of like a cover for Joey Carberry. Not Joey Carberry, what's his name? No, kind of like a, what do you call it? No, not cover Joey Carberry, for Jack Crowley, essentially, at wait, is it? Yeah, Munster. Yeah, that's right. For Jack Crowley. And essentially the thought there is that Jack Crowley is going to be spending a lot of time with Andy Farrell in the Six Nations, and they're going to want to have someone like Billy Burns caliber to cover for him at Munster. So yeah, that's a pretty big move for Billy Burns. Yeah, I still stand by my words that Billy Burns will be captain of Ireland going to the 2027 Rugby World Cup. All he takes is one injury and he's in. But yeah, anyway, that's a bit of a news from Ireland. And yes, thanks for watching. That's pretty much all the news this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the people that supports me in my YouTube membership, your donations, and Patreon, whatever. But yeah, really appreciate everyone who supports me financially. Very grateful for your support. Very grateful you're watching these videos. But yeah, see you this weekend for the reviews. I don't think I'll be doing previews. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some previews. Maybe do the Ireland game preview. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later for more videos. Cheers.